Hello, everyone. You're listening to the Dreaming Insomniacs, the podcast, or watching if you're watching it on YouTube. And I have a wonderful guest today, Mr. Mike Vaughn from Scream the TV series. He was also in the OA, Spider-Man PS4, Spider-Man Web of Shadows, and many other projects. So I'm just going to be asking you a few questions here today. And if we have any questions in the audience, we'll answer those as well.
Nice.
All right. So how you doing, Mike?
I'm good. I'm old and tired, but I'm good.
You're not old. What are you talking about?
I'm super old.
All right. So my first question is pretty simple. How did you get cast in the Scream TV series?
There was an audition that I got from my Los Angeles agent, and I was in Los Angeles at the time, and I got this audition, and they wouldn't say what it's for, but I read the screen at night, so at that time, I would go out on my deck and have a cigar and a scotch back in the day and read my scripts for the next day that I'd have to audition. And I'm looking at this one and I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is the very first scene of the very first Scream movie. Like, I recognize, like, did you lock me in? Did you like the whole thing? I was like, this is pretty much it. And I go, crap, I can't do what Roger Jackson did. I can't do what the guy did before. So I'm going to overthink this if I don't just go do it. So I put down my drink, put out the cigar, went up to my voice booth, just turned on all my gear, read it, had fun, read it once all the way through, had fun, and went, okay, good. You got that out of the way. You can relax, chill, don't overthink it. Come back tomorrow morning and do it again and do it better and be out of your head. So I wake up the next morning and I listen back to it and I go, shit, that's actually pretty good. And so I just sent the first take, the first thing I did without thinking about it, sent it to my agent. There's a voice director at the agency, Jason Merrill, and he listened to it and gave it the thumbs up. The casting director knew me from on-camera auditions. So, and a couple callbacks that I got with him. So he is not used to voiceover auditions. So he's friends with the booth director and said, hey, how do I do this? And he goes, just book Mike. So
That's awesome.
It was between me and one other guy. And because of networking and because of, people knowing people and I guess me having a certain basic minimum ability, I got passed through and that was it. There was no callback or nothing. And then I went into the studio and had a blast.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think what you did with the voice, even though it's like a different character and a different mask and all that, you did your own thing with it. I don't think anybody could say this is a cheap imitation of Roger Jackson, because it's not. And you do the witty dialogue very well, and it's your own take.
I'm not talented enough. I'm not talented enough to do sound-alikes. I couldn't sound like Roger.
Yeah, so, and you didn't do that. That's what I was afraid of when I heard the TV show was announced. I was like, if they don't get Roger, they're going to try to do a sound-alike, right? And they didn't, and they did a good job. So the fact that I'm meeting you and doing this interview is really cool.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. And the kills and the voice were my two favorite parts of that show. So
yeah,
can't interview the kills. Yeah,
that was gory,
more wild than some of the movies, right? With that that barn scene.
I was like, wow, I can't believe this is airing. I was like, holy cow.
MTV, you can get away with a little more on MTV. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
remember when it used to be music?
Now you're showing how old you are.
Oh God, I know I look young, but I'm older than people think. Actually, my birthday is on Saturday.
There was music on music television.
Yeah, right. Well, it was, and they still had it in 2004, and that's when I was a kid.
Oh, wow. So, I didn't know they had it in 2004 still.
That's cool. They had it in 2004. They were playing Green Day all the time. Green Day, Linkin Park, all the famous bands at the time. Yeah. Still great, but, that's just what was going on then. All right. Now, the second question is, what is some advice that you would give your younger self?
Oh, man. I actually wrote a short based on this. And the problem is my younger self would not hear a word that I have to say. So I would have to keep it really simple, really quick, because he'd be like, who's this creepy old guy trying to give me advice? Basically, it's get some shares in Microsoft and Apple and sell the Microsoft shares in the late 90s and keep Apple until you die. Get a Roth IRA. Do that now. Just do that now. Trust me, trust me, trust me. That's all you got to do, kid. And maybe stop eating so much sugar and carbs. And also don't worry about what people think about you. That'd be about it. And my 14-year-old self, my younger self, would probably hear like, spend money on stocks you know nothing about, whatever, bro, I'm out of here. That would be it. So it'd
That's
be
about right.
very
Yeah.
unsuccessful. It'd be very unsuccessful. But to everybody, buy shares when you're young. That shit adds up. Oh my god. I wish I had done it sooner.
Really, I should get into it.
Yes, it's insane.
Yeah, I should.
It's insane. Set it and forget it is my motto. Buy stuff you know is going to be around forever, and just forget about it.
Yeah, like
Disney.
Apple,
Buy
Microsoft,
Disney right
Disney.
now.
Yeah. Well, maybe not
Apple's a
right
little
now.
expensive, but Disney is
Yeah.
so low right now. And where are they going to go?
They're
Nowhere.
gonna come back though. I mean, with their financial downs with all the movies, they're gonna come back.
Yeah.
They always
Well,
do.
don't buy when they come back. Buy when they're down. Buy when they're down.
Yeah,
That's what I
right,
would tell my
exactly. Because it's
younger self
cheaper.
is you better get in the stock market game. Your dad ain't going to teach you. Here's how you do it.
Disney
Although I
pretty
don't
much
think there
owns the
was a
state I
Roth
live in.
IRA. I don't even think there was a Roth IRA when I was a kid. So that might have been bad
Really?
advice.
Yeah, that's fair. To be honest with you, when I was 14, I had no idea what that was. I do now,
Right?
but I didn't then.
Right? They got to teach this stuff in
Yeah.
school earlier. I'm telling you. I got my kid playing Grand Theft Auto
they do.
online so he can learn about passive income. That's what I got going.
That's fair. That's fair. You know, honestly, out of all the games you could let your kid play, it's not that bad. Seriously,
It's really
it's
not.
not
The
that bad.
violence gets cartoony, right? And then there's so many
Yeah, well,
like business
5's more
lessons to learn.
tame compared to 4, gore-wise
Yeah.
even. Like 5, they
Yeah.
made it way more tame. I
Yeah.
kind of miss like the more edgy Rockstar games. I like Manhunt. I like Red Dead Redemption 2. I like the freaking gore stuff, but I'm an adult, so I can play that. As a
Yeah.
kid, like, you know,
Yeah.
I just like to play Vice City once in a while
Oh,
and
Vice City was
run
so
over a
great.
couple people.
Oh,
Wasn't
I
that
love Vice
graphic.
City. I loved Vice City.
Vice
That
City's
was
great.
fun. It was great.
San Andreas was better, but
Yep.
Vice City is up there. Out of the 3, I'm not a big fan of it, just because you don't have a voiced protagonist. It's the first one, so I get.
And you don't
I
even
get it.
know
It's
that
the
my voice is
first
in
3D
San
one.
Andreas. You didn't know it was in Spider-Man. Now
I
you
saw
didn't know
that
it's in
on
San
your
Andreas.
credits.
Huh?
I saw that in your credits. I completely forgot until you just brought it up. That is
They
awesome.
they removed my credits on IMDb, which is really annoying because they didn't put all the radio voices in the game credits because there's this little thing called data. And when they make a game, they want to compress it. So they left, the hundreds of voices that made up the radio stations off the game thing. But my name is in the manual and in all the online forums and credits and all that, just not in the
What?
actual game. So IMDb was like, we're going to remove this credit. I'm like, really?
Oh, that's
Because
dumb.
here's the clip of me on 3 different sources. But okay, cool, thanks IMDb. And then
I'm
I have
sorry.
credits for 2 things on my IMDb that I never did. So IMDb can suck it, but
Yeah,
they're
IMDb is
useful,
not
but they can
reliable
suck it.
anyway.
Yeah.
Like, they're not fully reliable, though. It's made by the
No.
people. Remember that. So
Yeah, it's Amazon. It's an Amazon product.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. I
Yeah,
will say,
I
though,
love
like,
it.
what did you do on San Andreas? You did the radio voices?
I was a radio caller. I called into the show. They literally recorded me from the phone. It was Laszlo that called me up, and I just
Do
did
you
it on the
remember the
phone.
line?
Oh, yeah. I'm a mother and a fireman, and I don't think that anything you're saying is true because I'm not just a man. I'm also a woman. Something to that effect. So
I remember that.
It was the early, kind of an early crazy liberal Karen sort of thing going on with gender bending craziness. It was funny.
They that's still in the game in the definitive edition.
Yeah, it's still in
And
the
they
game.
have not paid you royalties, have they?
Games have never paid royalties. Games
That's
have
wrong.
never ever paid royalties. No game
That's
pays a royalty.
wrong. That is
Well,
wrong. They should.
SAG-AFTRA had a strike on video
Yep.
games a few years ago about that and did not get that, but we did get if the game sells 2 million copies, we get a tiny little bump. And some uh, publishers could pay in advance of that bump. If they knew they were going to sell so many, they could just pay in advance. And that happened to me on Final Fantasy. I got paid the bonus even before it sold, so that was nice. But it's just
You've done a bunch of video games, right? I keep
yeah, it's
forgetting.
just
Like,
a
there's
couple
way
$100.
more.
You get no residuals, you get nothing except maybe a little
Yeah.
notoriety and some fun podcast interviews out of it. But
Right. Yeah.
it is my favorite work by far. Video games are the most challenging work I've done and my favorite. So
You know
it's
what's funny
really
is you
fun.
just answered my third question
Oh,
without even
sorry.
realizing it. No, don't be sorry. Just naturally flowed. Look at that. That was
Uh,
cool. That was really cool
whew,
how that works. I love that.
I'm so cool.
Yeah, no, that video games have to be the most fun because what? You're just doing ADR and sometimes motion capture. Like for Web of Shadows, did you do motion capture for Peter Parker Spider-Man or no?
No,
So you
I'm
just
not a
did the
physical
voice.
guy. I'm fat. I'm fat and I'm not good at athletics. Never was, never have been. It was just voice. And God bless those mocap actors. Some of them they're starting to do the voiceover work now too. They're recording everything and they're great. I
Yeah.
have some colleagues that are just awesome at it. It's not my jam. I like being in the booth. I don't mind having mocap on my face, which I've had, but the body stuff I'm not gonna
Yeah,
do.
no, I was just curious
Um,
because I know most games standard now for like a lead protagonist is mocap
yeah,
and voice. But back then in
yeah,
'08, I know it was different because games weren't so detailed, right? And they weren't
yeah.
doing
Well,
that.
and
They weren't modeling it.
they didn't have the technology to capture all that at the same time. The studios that they're acting in with the mocap are not treated acoustically, and the mics weren't there, and they couldn't add the gear. It was just more of a technical thing. And sometimes
Hmm.
too, you get a great mocap performer who's maybe not locked on the voice, like I'm not locked on the body movement stuff. So it's just like,
Mhm.
they figure out I'm still doing voice stuff where it's already mocapped. You just don't know. But
Yeah.
you gotta really be in the down there by the studios, which I'm not. And you gotta really be into it, which I'm not. So it's just not my
Yeah.
jam. I'm very impatient and I love the cushiness of my booth. So
I'm kind of impatient too, and that's part of why I record my music at home because I'm the same
yeah,
way. I don't really
yeah,
like people telling me what to do.
yeah.
You know what
You
I
get
mean?
it. Well,
Like,
RT.
I'll record something that I know is really good, and they're like, "You can change this, and that about this." And I'm like, "No,
Yeah,
I don't want that's fundamentally changing everything I just created."
right.
You know? So I get it.
Got it.
I get
Yeah,
it. It's a comfort
yeah,
thing.
yeah. It's what are you good at? What do you enjoy? So
Right. So do you have any upcoming jobs that you can talk about?
there's one I just got a notification. I got a session for it. I don't even know what's called. I literally don't know what it's called. So I don't know. I do know some stuff that I didn't know was Genshin Impact. I'm on that and Lost Ark. And I had no idea I was working on them. No idea. And I'm still getting Genshin Impact pickup lines for different characters. But this one that I'm working on now, I wish I knew what it was, and I wish they told me what to promote because it's been almost 2 years worth of work. It's insane
So
how
it's gonna
big
be
it is.
big.
I have no idea what it is. Just no clue. So that's the big one. And then
Intriguing.
the other stuff I'm doing is a YouTube hosting job that I will not talk about because it's embarrassing as hell. Uh, but it pays the
Fair
bills.
enough.
So
Yeah, I get that. I like your YouTube channel. It has a bunch of clips from your acting reel and everything. Go
yeah,
subscribe to Mike Vaughn on YouTube,
I
everybody.
think I'm just Mike J. Vaughn, maybe. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
But
Mike J. Vaughn.
Instagram's way more fun. There's way more crap happening on Instagram, I
And
think.
is that the underscore Mike underscore Vaughn?
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
say
yeah.
the instead of the. I'm one of those.
The
The tomato tomato potato potato. All
yeah.
right. And what is the best part of being a working actor?
No cubicle. If
Damn
it's
right.
Monday and there's nothing due, I'm sleeping in. The freedom of all that, which is also the biggest downside, which is the fear of am I gonna make my mortgage this month? Is everything okay? The instability. But after doing this for so long, you build up enough, I guess, tolerance to the insecurity that you're gonna make it through. But early on, man, I had some years where I thought, oh, I'm in trouble now.
I feel that. I go through that too.
Yeah,
I mean, the economy now is
yeah,
crazy, especially inflation every year. It just keeps going up and up and up and up. And I
yeah.
live in Florida. It's supposed to be cheaper down here, and it's not.
It's not
So,
cheaper anywhere, I don't think. It's
nope,
crazy.
nope.
Yeah. So it's just the insecurity, but you know, the other end of that is the freedom. And that I think is just something I'm built with. That's just in my DNA. My wife is the same way. She's self-employed. She's got the office next to mine. So we're just different that way. Um, but it definitely has come at a price. Our I don't want to say colleagues, but other parents that are in this neighborhood that are similar to us, they have way more disposable income than we do. That's also the penalty. But I'm happy, and I'm not driving. I'm not commuting. I'm not,
Yeah.
you know,
And it
pulling my
means you
hair
live
out.
in a nice area. It's safe there. That's
It is
good.
safe.
It's
Yeah,
good.
it's safe enough, and
I think that's
you
the
don't want
life
too safe.
dream,
You want
right?
you want your kid to have some edge. I want my kid to,
Yeah,
eventually
you
get
don't
a
want them to be
tattoo.
so cushioned that they're not prepared for the outside world, but you also want them to be comfortable enough, right?
Yeah, he's got to learn to cut a bitch once in a while.
Yeah, no, trust me. Sometimes you gotta cut a bitch.
That's right.
See,
Yeah.
this is part of why I wanted you on here because you're really funny.
Oh,
I
thanks.
first saw you on Craven Something Scary's
That's
podcast, so
fun.
that's how I knew who you
Yeah.
were. So, oh, he's the one that did the voice in the Scream show. He's hilarious. I gotta have him on. So I'm glad it worked out.
uh, too kind. Too
That's so
kind.
cool.
I don't think I'm funny. I
And
really don't. I know funny people. They're funny. I'm not funny.
see, the thing about people who are funny is they don't think they're funny, right?
Ah, thanks, but
So
yeah.
we can not give ourselves all the credit, but there's jokes from time to time that'll make people laugh. And I think if you're getting a reaction from somebody, I think to a degree you're funny. You know what I
To
mean?
a degree. I think I'm just
To a
mean.
degree.
I'm just mean. I'm
But
just
that can be
mean.
funny.
At
That can be
heart.
funny.
Exactly. Oh, I love mean comedy. I love roasts. I cannot get enough of roasts on
Mhm.
my Instagram feed and when they're
Some of
on
the
TV.
episodes of Family Guy that are really dark can be really funny
Yes.
sometimes too.
Oh, it's one of
Mhm.
my favorite shows. I love
Dude,
Family Guy.
there was one usually newer Family Guy I'm not a big fan of. But there was one from the Simpsons crossover season
Yeah.
where like
Yeah.
Peter's like Meg's like, I want to go on a field trip, Dad. And Peter's like, Meg, I just took you on a field trip last week. And it like cuts away to him dropping her off at a field. Bye, there's your field, Meg. Have a good day. And then he just drives off. It was really funny. That was actually it's really dark
Poor Meg.
because he just
Oh,
left his
it's
teenage
so
daughter in the
so
middle of
dark. It's
nowhere.
the
But
best. It's the
yeah.
best.
Oh, there was another one too. One more. Then I'm done.
Yeah.
Fuck it. So Brian was like I don't know what happened. He became dumb for some reason, and he's like talking about shooting a load to Natalie Portman in Black Swan, and then to the other ends too. He's like, oh no, we all know who she is.
Remember that one? Now I gotta go look that one up. Oh my
Yeah. So
god.
they made a Mila Kunis joke.
That's
It
fun.
was
Oh,
great.
that's right.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah. It was funny.
That's funny. Gotta remember.
So my next question is, what work did you do on Spider-Man PS4?
I played a bunch of Russian and New York thugs, all the bad guys you shoot. I died a lot. That's really what I did. I
So all
died
the
a
times I beat
lot.
that game, I pretty much beat up your voice.
You shot me more times than you'll ever know. A lot of yelling. Ah, over there, move! Ah, and then just all that stuff. So I
Have you
died.
played the game?
I have not played it yet, mostly because of time.
Yeah, I
My
get that.
kid is 6, about to be 7, and my littlest one is 2 now. So there's just no time to play.
No
So
time.
my only
Yeah.
that's why I got him into Grand Theft Auto, just so I could see what the hell's going on. And
It's
I
easy
play.
too to hop right into
Yeah,
Grand Theft Auto.
yeah.
Like with Spider-Man, you
I
have to
just sit
invest.
there and yeah, I just sit there and see if he's got any questions and keep him safe, and so he's not lonely. And
Yeah.
I think when parents freak out about, I know I'm going on a tangent here, but when parents freak out about video games being bad, what I've noticed is when we had the microphones on and we could hear the other players, I don't think it's the game that's bad. I think it's the parental neglect, because some of those kids that were trying to talk in the lobbies, and to my kid, you could hear the loneliness in their voice and in the room. And so you could hear sort of this depression, this anger, this like, about to go down the incel rabbit hole. You could pick that up on the other side, that energy. And I think if parents play games with their kids, then you have an opportunity to explain things, educate them, and quite honestly, if you make it cool, they're not going to like it anymore, and they'll stop playing anyway. So, just a
Which is what
thought.
we want, right? Go outside and play.
Go outside and play. He does that. He does that, and I think by not saying no and putting on restrictions, he does. He does want to go outside and play. He does like,
Mhm.
but if we made it forbidden and we made it taboo and all that, it'd be way
Yeah,
worse.
they're gonna
So
want to
we
run in the other direction.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
no, I
do
get
do
it.
what you want to do, kid.
Yeah,
We'll get it. We'll get there. And yeah, just stop picking up the hookers. Cut that out. Mom
yeah,
doesn't
right.
like that.
Yeah, don't go to the
Plus,
strip club.
plus that costs you money. That costs you money, and you're
Right.
saving up for your
Yeah.
deluxo. So stop it.
And even if
Yeah,
you kill the hooker, you get less money back, which doesn't make
less
sense in real life, but that's okay.
horrible, horrible, horrible,
Horrible.
horrible
Horrible.
lessons. But if you're
Horrible
building your
lessons. But
business,
it's your
ooh,
choice.
great business lessons in that game, though. Amazing business lessons.
Oh, for the money stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
you got to
definitely. You're
maintain your
right.
company, and that will generate passive revenue, which is great. And even if you own something, there's still maintenance and it's still work. Like, just great advice. I'm
Yeah,
telling
no,
you.
that
And
is cool that
there's
they
even a
put that
stock
in there,
market
isn't
in
it?
it. There's a
Yeah.
stock market in it. It's
Story
dude,
mode and online.
dude.
You can do it alone or online, either one, I
That's
think.
right.
Wait, is it
That's
available
right.
online? I don't know. It
Yeah,
wasn't when it
GTA
first
Online.
launched. It wasn't
What's
when
that?
it first launched. The stock
No,
market
they've
wasn't
added
available when
so
it first. Yeah.
much. They've added so much. It's amazing. That game is
Casino
what? 10 years old. It's 10 years
this
old
year. Yeah.
this
Well,
year,
in 9 days, 11 days, 11 days, it'll be 10 years.
and it's still
Which
going
I'm
strong. And
kind of mad. I'm a little mad at Rockstar for not putting out 6 yet. A little bit. 10 years since the last Grand Theft Auto. It's pushing it.
why would they? They could just
Push.
slide 6 in as an
I know.
update to online.
They really wanted to. At this point, with the way they just released Red Dead Redemption 1 for the PS4, I
Oh, they
wouldn't put it
did?
past them. Yeah, well,
Oh,
Laszlo left the company. Dan
yeah,
Houser
I
left
do
the
know that.
company. So
Yeah.
Rockstar is a former shell of what
Oh,
they once
no.
were. It's
Oh,
unfortunate.
no.
Yeah, so I'm a little worried for 6, especially with the way the microtransactions have gone on GTA Online. See, I've never bought a shark card.
Mhm.
I've only played
No.
straight.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So like for me, like I don't fall for that practice, but a lot of people do fall for it. Look at just the revenue the game makes per day. So
Yeah,
I
they
don't
have
know.
to. They have to do that.
But I feel like that's why a lot of the people who founded the company with love and that put all this time into creating their narratives left the company because the parameter is no the goal
Prerogative.
of the company
The
changed.
goal.
Prerogative.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Prerogative
I got
changed.
you.
That is what
Yeah,
happened.
and
Parameter. What
also,
the
I
fuck
mean,
was I thinking?
it's hard. I don't even stay in the same career for, before acting. 10 years was kind of my limit. I did advertising for 10, 11. Burnout, left acting. I'm still doing acting. It's 20 years, but I'm doing some kind of different stuff on top of it now to, not get so burnout. So there's
Yeah.
burnout, I'm sure,
Oh yeah.
which is normal.
Mike, you want to know
Completely
how many
normal.
albums we made in 6 years?
How many? 6?
10.
You made 10 in 6 years? That's awesome.
Trust me, I understand burnout.
Ah, no. Well, relax then. Give
Yeah.
yourself a break. Why
We're putting out
why
one
10
EP
albums in
this
6
year.
years? Why? What was the reasoning for doing that much?
The way the industry is now, it wants you to propel things to the forefront on a constant basis and release things all the time. It helps with algorithms. So they don't really care about quality, they care about quantity. So to reach a certain amount of people, you have to do it a
I
certain way.
I just
It's
had
stupid.
thoughts. I just had similar thoughts about acting, because right now in acting, there's a little meme of John C. Riley talking about this, and I side with him, which is the industry's telling you to get out there, do everything, go nuts, do be a for a while there, they were telling us actors, even in video games, to have a following on social media so they could book us easier with the people in Japan or wherever who were approving the talent. And I just thought, well, gosh, so you don't want us to be actors then? You want us to be social media marketing people, on top
Right.
of our training? It just seemed like a bit much. And the directive now is
Hmm.
do anything, do everything. When I look at my favorite actors, my favorite shows, my favorite games, my favorite thing, you cannot go 100% all the time in front of everybody. You just can't. Like, you got to have time to build and create. And in that time, you can't also be out there promoting stuff while you're creating, in my opinion. So like
Yeah, you gotta
I
separate.
laid low on a project to create it, and it's just now coming to light, and it's been like almost a year, 2 years of being in the dark pretty much. So
Right.
I think that's necessary. I think breaks are healthy and necessary. They're scary when you're self-employed, but I
Even a
just
couple
see actors
months,
putting out
even if you
crap.
have enough put aside to make it for a couple
Mhm.
of months to take it just a little bit of time to breathe. Catch up on your
Yeah,
rest, get your sleep cycle reset, get your health back in order, start eating right, exercising, rada rada rada, and then you're in a better state of mind. And then you can come back
yeah,
to what you were doing before in a better way.
yeah.
Doesn't mean don't
And
rehearse it
I
in
agree.
between.
I agree. And I'm also looking at what's not serving me. And I found that certain social media vehicles don't serve me in any way, shape, or form. They don't help. If anything, they're just a risk to get hung on. And I'm not on Twitter. Like, I have a Twitter account, not on it.
Yeah.
Facebook,
I'm the same
no.
way. There's
I'm
too much
done.
there's too much
I'm
crap on
too
Twitter.
much noise.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've got a little Instagram problem
I
right
know, it's
now.
crazy,
I'm gonna
right,
try to shake it.
man?
But yeah. Yeah, exactly. So
So do
I
I.
think
No,
breaks
I
are
get
good.
it. I think Instagram's the most fun out of all of them.
I gotta watch it though, because it's turning into TikTok, and that is an addictive algorithm. That is dangerous. Like, oh boy, I've seen my friend
Yeah.
and other people around me. I'm just like, and I find myself scrolling, and I'm like, what am I doing? I feel so bad. It's like eating a candy bar. It's like, ah, shit, what did I just do?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
trying. I'm flawed. I'm deeply flawed.
You know what I posted TikTok? Like, there's a video of a squirrel eating wood on
Mhm.
my deck. It was like eating a
Mm.
wood chip. There was a squirrel one day, and I just filmed it and put it on TikTok. It got like 800 views. That's the kind of thing I put on TikTok because it's whatever. But nobody's following me. I don't care. I'm not doing it to be an influencer or whatever. It's just fun.
Oh my god.
People take it way too seriously, right?
Yeah, oh,
People
yeah.
take TikTok way too seriously. It's funny. I
Yeah,
think
it
it's really
feel
funny.
Instagram can feel like platitude gram a lot of time. All you need to do is do
Yeah, and then
5 vegetables you need to eat right now. My workout system's the best. Shut up.
oh, you mean the clips? Yeah, no,
Yeah, just the
it's
clips. It's
they're
just
all
like
the
one
same.
bad
YouTube
advice
does it
after another.
too.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
God. Ugh.
What about that guy that covers like Hollywood drama? Like Bryan Cranston is out because Charles Perallo, whatever his name is,
I don't know who that is.
it's
I
like,
have no
why does
idea
that
who
dude
that
have like
is.
millions of followers? He's like really annoying. He posts about why he'll never have a girlfriend because he wants one, but he hasn't found one. It's like, dude, you're like 27. Start acting like a 27-year-old and stop
I'm
covering
I'm
Hollywood
I'm
drama. Nobody
I'm double
cares.
that age, so I'm just like, I don't get it, so I'm good.
I don't either. It's dumb. It's
Well, I'm not
dumb.
on
Don't
TikTok.
create content for the sake of it. Like,
I'm not on TikTok for age reasons. Same reason I'm not at a dance club on Friday nights.
right.
No.
Yeah. Like for me, I after I went through a breakup, I went to a water park, right? But I felt a little weird going to a fucking water park at 27 years old. You know what I mean? You ever think that's like not the
Without
place for
yeah,
me to hang out?
yeah.
So I wore a shirt the whole time. I think it was
Mm,
this. Was it this shirt? It might have been this shirt, but I wore a shirt the whole time because I just felt like it was the more polite and respectful thing to do, and I'm glad I
yeah.
did. Was it hot as
I
hell? Yes, but
was gonna say that's a dark shirt. You
got
should
to
wear
enjoy the
it.
water park.
There you
Right,
go.
yeah, and this, especially in Florida. Oof.
Mm.
All right, so my next question for you: was it cool to be on the show The OA? It's a little favorite of mine there.
It was crazy fun. It was really simple. Again, it was like one audition, no callback. I did 2 different takes in this booth. I actually recorded that audition in here. This had just been built, and I just moved to Portland. And I still submit like as if I'm in LA because basically I am. But I
Go
auditioned.
Portland.
Yeah, I love Portland. I hope it gets better, but we'll get there.
Yeah. A lot of stolen
Auditioned.
catalytic converters.
Yeah, not anymore. They broke up that ring, so it's a little bit less now.
Oh,
It's a little bit
good. Yeah, about a year
that,
ago, I was
that,
booking auto dealership appointments
yeah,
for a call center, and we'd have to book for
yeah.
Portland, and people kept calling about that. So I know about it. Sorry.
No,
Didn't mean to get
it's
off
okay.
topic.
Fentanyl's the dope thing now, just so you're hip and up to date. It's all about fentanyl.
Sad. It's
Um,
everywhere.
yeah, it's fentanyl and urban growth boundaries. So, audition said you booked it. They said, when do you want to fly up? And I go, I'm already here. And they go, wow, cool. I went and just did a scene where I'm the angry Goodwill worker who's closing up shop and has to redirect them. That's all it is. So I'm just a redirect. So just a
Was
really
that
little bit
in
part. And I'm with
season 1 or
season
2?
two. And all us actors went together
2?
in the
Okay.
van. And they're so nice. They were so sweet. Everybody was really cool. They had some new technology at the time, which was fascinating to me on the crew side. The lights were all controlled by tablets. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. And so it was obviously not a
Oh, yeah, that's a new thing.
yeah, it was really cool. It was just neat to be surrounded again, on a film set in Portland, moving fast and doing great work. And it was just easy. I don't think I did more than a handful of takes, and that was it. And we were done. So easy, but
That is so cool.
fun. Yeah,
That's
and then
awesome, man.
people
You know,
months and months and months later, people are like, "Are you on the OA?" And I'm like, "Oh, is that out now? Okay, yeah, I guess I was." So
it's awesome. I was on a set recently where I was helping with a music video shoot, and there was a rain machine. And what you just mentioned, how lighting is controlled through a tablet. That's how I did the lightning. I controlled the lightning and will I get credit for it? Probably not.
I'm sure lighting guys right now are like, "Dude, it's like 10 years old." They're like rolling our eyes at us. But to me, when I got out of college, I was on a film crew in Colorado Springs helping to make ads. That's how I got into advertising. And I was a grip. And dude, I sat up on a crane overnight in the middle of the night in the Colorado Rockies, holding a backfill light, swaying back and forth, like probably 40 feet up in the air. Terrifying. And these lights are big, heavy, hot, the huge cables, the whole thing. And now it's just like LEDs and like don't even need people. It's amazing how far it's come. It blows me
So
away.
you've been in film for 20 years.
I mean,
So
in and
I
out.
have a personal question.
Okay.
I have a personal question. Now, when it comes to the head of the project, if they ever threaten you with a gun, you should never work with that person again, correct?
I think that's good advice in general.
And
with
they
me.
carry a loaded gun to the set and threaten you with a loaded gun.
I would
Yeah.
say that
Okay.
it's a good idea to avoid them and also know that they probably have a really small carrying a
Yeah.
gun to set. What a piece of shit. Who did
Yeah.
that? You should name him.
Oh, to all his gigs too. I don't know if I should, because you know what? He reached out to my father when I posted a thing on Facebook about it, so I'd rather not. But somebody who I was doing video production for his
Is
band
this
and
in
music
Florida?
videos. Yes.
Is this okay? It's in Florida. Okay, so those of you listening in Florida or watching in Florida who are in the music video business, please refer to our kind host here to see if who you're working for matches up with who he did. Do you have like a local production association? Like here in Oregon, we have the OMPA, the Oregon Media Production Association. Like when somebody does really bad,
we don't. We should have something like that.
you should have something. You might have something that you don't even know about, like film wise, but you should probably just let somebody in an organization know. Is he a member of DGA or the PGA?
Nope.
Okay, well,
No, he used to work on TV shows, I guess, reality shows. He told me, but like somebody reached out to me after this happened, and after I put the thing up on Facebook about it, and said that he has a history of this, and they don't know, they're not excusing his behavior, but they don't know why people still hire this guy because of the way he continuously acts and treats people. My good friend told me that he doesn't want to work with him anymore. I won't name him either just to respect him. He doesn't want to work with him anymore because of the way he speaks to him. And every time, did you get a 4 a.m. text from so-and-so? Every time I worked with the guy. And
that's a straight up sociopath.
So my friend was like trying to let me know, like, hey, did you get a 4 a.m. text? Like, he's probably like saying, like, don't work with him anymore, you know? And I didn't listen. So,
well, lesson learned.
But, yeah, I'm not even going into the full details, man. If you saw the text messages he sent me and the way of disrespect I was shown, you wouldn't want to work with someone like that either.
I think you'll find that people like that are surprisingly rare. Like, I think I've got a few hundred jobs under my belt at this point, and I can only think of maybe 2 or 3 people that I didn't enjoy working with, and they were not carrying guns to the booth or anything, but there were just a couple people that, you know, I would happily turn down and did turn down their projects out of hundreds. So, I mean, that means 99% of everybody I work with is a joy, a pleasure, or at least just competent and cool to get through. And I found the higher up the rung I went on the ladder, the chiller, cooler, more confident, nicer people were. It's, you know, and the problems happened at the very bottom. The problems were always at the very, very bottom. And I noticed over the years too that those casting directors, all the people that gave me a hard time, they're still at the bottom. So, you know, when people are like,
yeah, they're trying to make it and they're not making it because of that. Literally.
Right. Well,
that's what I said after this happened.
They are who they are. They are who they are, and they're letting you know. And so I always hated that thing, like, you know, work cheap for me now and you'll hit it big later and all that stuff. That's all bullshit.
Yeah.
It never happens.
Well, yeah, he said he was going to pay me for the 2 gigs, and he pulled some bullshit about the Labor Day check not clearing. And then, he told my friend, I'll only pay Joe in person, face to face, in cash. Bullshit.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. See, the worst people to work for are also the highest maintenance. So yeah. If anybody starts arguing with you over money or anything, just sometimes saying no is the most financially advantageous move, is to say no. And it's hard to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I also got sick of being told, oh, your shots aren't good enough. When they were, I checked the viewfinder. They weren't shaky. And why are you having me do handheld for a band? Just set up 2 fucking tripods, dude, and have me babysit them. It's not that hard.
That's a technique to then not pay your bill. Well, you didn't get the shots I wanted. I'm not going to pay.
Right. Yeah. Set me up for failure.
It's a Trump move. It's a Trump move. I'm not going to pay. Here's what I want. Now I'm not going to pay you. That's all it is.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Set me up for failure. I knew it too. I felt so. So it's funny that you said that. Sorry to go on about this topic. I thought you'd find it interesting, just given that you've been in the industry for so long.
I'm here to heal. See, my wife's coming through the walls. She's a therapist, so now it's coming through the walls, and I'm projecting it. I love it.
Well, thank you, because this week especially, I needed it. I have to give a bit of a memorial shout out because sorry to bring this up, Mike. Good for my Luke Allen Jackson. He was in Brooksville and he was run over by a dump truck while on his bicycle. He didn't make it. So rest in peace, Luke.
Shit. Was he a band member or a friend?
Yeah.
Fuck.
No, but he was I knew that kid before he went through puberty. We went to high school together, and he helped me create this YouTube channel 10 years ago. I just saw him for the first time in 10 years, literally a month and a half, 2 months ago. And I said, thank you so much for being here. I'm grateful you're alive, because all the rest of our friends are dead. It's horrible. But, you know, it is what it is, you know. A lot of young people, not when it comes to him, that's not the example, but other young people haven't taken care of themselves. And that's the unfortunate thing, is a lot of people are dying young now. You know.
Yep.
Sorry, my dad's being wicked loud downstairs.
Is he playing
do you have
GTA
any advice
online?
for any? No, he's on the phone, I think. But I have another question for you. Do you have any advice for up and coming artists?
I want to retract some of the advice I've given out in the past, which is that horrible cliche, that trope of do what you love and the money will follow. I think it is important to do what you enjoy, but don't be mad. Don't let taking a break, which we talked about earlier, don't let taking a break, don't let having a day job, don't let that get you down either. We all got to find ways to get to do what we love to do. So there's no shame in my fellow actors saying I got a temporary gig or I'm working over here for the moment or whatever. Um, so don't have shame. Try to do what you love the best you can, and yeah, don't sweat too much. Like I ought to tell my 14-year-old self, don't sweat the small shit, dude. Don't worry about what people think too much. That's what I would say. Find what you love. Try to get there the
Yeah, because at
best
the end of
way
the day, does
best
it
way you
really matter?
can.
It
Yeah.
doesn't.
And if you got some trauma in your life and shit, go get fucking therapy with a good therapist. That is like
Hmm.
critical now.
I recommend a trauma therapist, actually. Trauma therapy is
Yes.
fantastic.
I recommend any
I got it when I was
therapist you
14 for some messed
connect
up
to.
stuff I went through.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But I wouldn't be okay now if I didn't get that when I was a teenager. So,
Yeah.
seriously, anybody out there who needs help, if you have the means and the resources, health insurance or the money to do it because it's very helpful, especially
I
with the
have
right person.
I have to give you some insider information though. The most important thing is that you
Okay.
connect with your therapist and and you work together because it's going to be kind of like dating on the internet. Like you're going to have a lot of bad encounters with bad therapists. There are a lot of bad therapists out there. And so when you find someone you connect with, stick with it. And unfortunately, insurance companies have made it so that therapists cannot take their insurance because they actually lose money. So my wife stopped taking certain insurance plans because she would lose $30 a client. Like that's how bad it is. Um, so
Oh.
the best thing you can do if you want a really good therapist and you want them to call you back and you want space available, which I know is the biggest complaints of finding a therapist, tell them you're a cash payer and find a way to make those payments. They'll call you the next day and be like, how's tomorrow? If you tell them you're a cash payer. If you call and go, I have such and such insurance, you'll be lucky if they call you back because therapists are treated so poorly by the insurance companies. My wife got stiffed by two of them, flat out not paid. So like it's really bad. It's really bad out there. And therapists don't stand up for themselves. They're all too nice. They shame each other into doing low paid work. It's a bad situation. There's a Hassan Minaj Netflix when he had his Netflix series about therapists. He's dead on. He is dead on. So get therapy in any way you can, and just know that it might be tough finding one, especially if you know, if money's an issue. So it sucks. It sucks. But that's reality. Sorry.
Hmm.
I'm glad you found somebody that
Yeah.
worked with you though. That's amazing. That's a yay.
Yeah.
That's an
Well,
uplifting thought.
I grew up in Massachusetts, so
Yeah.
for me, I had Mass Health, so it's like the best insurance in the country. So they covered the
There you
trauma
go.
therapy. Out of
Good.
pocket, I wouldn't have been able to afford that.
Good. Good. But to
um,
your
I don't
viewers,
know if I told. I don't know if I.
I
Oh,
was just gonna
sorry.
say to your viewers, there are more bad therapists than there are good therapists. So it is going to be a struggle and it is going to be a hunt. But once you find that one or two, you're much better. Trust me.
100%. I agree. The one time I found the right one, and then he moved to a new office after that. It was really weird. It was like all these years, I finally found one, and then it was like shit. Now he's gone. Oh well.
Because of
Yeah.
the
Yeah. I get it. It's what it is.
yep.
It's what makes the cookie crumble. People's got lives. They have
Well,
people have
to
lives. They
become
need
a
to take care
therapist,
of
it
things.
is unbelievably expensive to become
And
one.
hard. A lot of work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm in school for audio engineering, and
Nice.
like some of the quizzes are really easy, and then other
Yeah.
quizzes are really hard. It's like all the notes I took weren't the
Yeah.
things he was saying that were needed. I thought they were. So when it came to the quiz, I got an F on the first one. I'm like, what?
Ah.
I redid it. I got a C. I was like, all right, it's passing. I'll just do that. It's fine.
That's cool you're doing that. Audio engineers are a
Yeah.
smart bunch. They're a smart little bunch of guys and gals.
Kind of have to be a bit of a nerd. You have to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I
Yeah, it's
mean,
nerdy. They're smart.
sound is a thing. Like for me, I can hear the layers. I know how a song is constructed.
Yeah.
Certain people, they just listen to Spotify in the background while they're cleaning, as my teacher Scott Velasco would say, Professor Scott Velasco. That's what he said today. I was just stealing what he said. But
How
like
could you
for
do that?
me and other audio engineers, we can hear the layers and what makes up the track and how it's built and how it resonates and all this different. It's really interesting and really boring to people who don't understand it. So I'm not going to
Cool.
get into frequencies and all that stuff. So
I can hear you.
actually, if people are interested, just buy this sound Oh, can you see it? Oh,
No.
can't really see it. No. Oh,
Yeah,
there
you
we
gotta
go.
click
Sound
through it.
reinforcement handbook. It's
Ah.
a Yamaha book. All right. Do I have any more questions? Oh yeah, I have one final question, but if you want to stay on here for a bit, you can. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So, do you have any questions for me at all?
No, man, we're just having a nice little conversation. I like it.
Fair enough. I'm glad. I don't know if I actually properly introduced you to myself earlier. My name's Joe. So
Hey, Joe.
I'm the lead singer of the band, co-founder. We've been around since 2015. The song started in 2013. So really the project kind of took 10 years to formulate. But now
Nice.
it's really it's going. I've had some great podcast guests. This has been one of my best interviews. So really thank you for
I like
coming
that
on.
we
It
just
means the
dove
world to
right
me.
in. We just drove right into the intros after. That works for me. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Talk about the important stuff and then we'll get to that. Like
Yeah.
I'll introduce myself later. It's not about me. You know what I mean? It's about your work. That's how I structure the podcast. So do you have any plugs, shout outs, etc. that you would like to throw out there? Anybody
Um,
that you want to give some love to?
my ego loves having new followers on Instagram. So that's always good. And then if you need a loop group for your project, go to rebelloop.com. Built my own loop group here in Portland to handle regional, smaller budget stuff. And I don't think I have any other shout outs at the moment. I'll shout out any BMW dealership that wants to give me an X1. That'd be great.
Oh yeah, me
Actually,
too.
I
I'd
want
like a
the I want
Tesla.
the iX. I wanted the iX. I test drove a Tesla Y. I didn't love it, so I need to test drive the X to see
I
the
have
difference.
conflicting feelings. I've been in one as a passenger, and I think it's cool, but they
Yeah.
all look the same. They all look the same, and the color
Yeah.
palette is bland. They need more colors. I keep hitting the microphone. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I want to
But
see
yeah,
the
they need
difference
more
between the
colors.
X and the Y. We didn't. My whole family rented the Y. And we didn't love it. It just wasn't a good fit for whatever reason.
You see
It's a
that
great car.
Mustang electric SUV? I don't
Yes,
know
I'm
what
very
Ford was
curious
thinking.
about that, and the Volkswagen one, and the Tesla X, and especially the BMW iX. That's the one I meant.
I just think
That
they
looks
should have called it a
beautiful.
Lincoln instead of a Mustang because it's not a Mustang. Mustang's a sports
That
car.
doesn't look like
No,
a Lincoln. You're high. That does not
I
look
know.
like a Lincoln. It looks good. What are you talking
Just
about?
because I smoked weed before this interview doesn't mean I'm high. It means I'm stoned.
You're high. You're high. That is no Lincoln. That is no Lincoln.
Oh,
That's
oh,
great.
man, I'm just messing around. I just I know how the car people are about Mustangs, and they're like strictly like 1970s style muscle
Oh,
car. You know what I mean?
it
Yeah.
is not. Yeah, it is not a traditional Mustang. That is 100%. Yeah, it is
No,
different.
no.
Way
But
different.
that 80s one, the boxcar one, I hate that one the most. That one's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think that's a Mustang. Like people call it a
Yeah.
Mustang, it just says Ford on it. So it doesn't even have the
Yeah.
Mustang logo.
I remember that one. Yep.
Oh, shit box. Good for racing though. If you deck it out and do street racing, that thing was great. It's like a Honda Civic, you know?
Do you race? Do you still race?
No, I've to be honest with you, I had a 2011 Nissan Altima Special 2.5, and the only times I've ever raced, I almost got in a lot of trouble. I was very lucky, so I won't do it again.
I
I'd
never raced, but
rather be safe than
one of my
sorry.
first cars was a Nissan Sentra SER. It's 16
Sentra, okay.
valve, tiny little car. It was
Yeah,
insane. It
Sentras
was
are great though.
yeah,
Yeah.
this was the special little race one with the
Mhm.
valves, like 16 valves. It was nuts. That thing
That's
was
what my Altima was. It
zippy.
had the flick shift too. You
Yeah.
could do the flick shift gears. Yeah.
Yep.
Meant for racing. And I live in Daytona, so of course it's like racing. It's the racing city, so people drag race it. I shouldn't be saying this, but yeah, I did it a couple times. I'm not gonna lie.
I was in Daytona
When the
in
car was still good before it shit the
91.
bed.
I did spring break Daytona
Oh, really?
91, yo. Yeah. That's how old I am.
Hey, back when it was cool. Back
Yeah.
when it was
MTV
real.
Jams.
Now it's
Ed
bullshit.
Lover.
You don't want to come here now, Mike. You'd be sad with
Oh, I
what
didn't
it's
want to
turned
come there
into.
then.
It's got its merits, but I don't know. I don't know why the hell I'm here. The world's most famous beach. Yeah, my ass. Come on.
Slightly
It's
cheaper
really
rent.
not. Slightly cheaper? No, it's gone up. Dude, to live beachside, they want $1,500 minimum. That's a lot of money for Florida. It used to be $700 over here. That wasn't bad. $1,500, that's a huge spike within a year.
That is.
Yeah. So that's just the way that is. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I'm good. I am all good. Yep.
All right. Do you want to wrap it up then?
Yeah. Did you have any audience questions then? Did any of those pop up?
The thing was, I don't think I promoted it right. So all my friends that I thought were gonna watch it didn't hop in on the live. So I guess we could get some comments later. I'm sorry, Mike.
No. We'll see
It's
them
kind of
down in the
annoying when
comment
they
section
pop up on the
below.
screen anyway. Oh, that's funny. That's really funny. We just got a comment.
Okay.
So Lil Sick X, he makes music. He says we're live? ? Yes, we are live. We've been live.
Everybody
Okay,
thought this
so
was
we do have somebody.
pre-recorded.
What's up, man? Good to see you. Do you have
Everybody
any
thought they were watching
questions before we
pre-recorded.
close it out, man? He thought he was watching pre-recorded.
That's funny.
Oh, I just picked up on that. Thank you.
All your
We're
viewers
good. How
smoke
are
too
you?
much weed. I love it.
And we're called the Dreaming Insomniacs. I mean, come on.
There you go. Right?
Does it make any sense? Does it make any sense? No.
Never. Right on.
He doesn't have a question. He just wanted to show some love. All right. Well, thank you for showing some love. We really appreciate you. So this has been the Dreaming Insomniacs, the podcast, here with my very special guest, Mike Vaughn. You have been a pleasure and a delight, and we should do this again soon, man.
Anytime.
We should do this again soon.
I'm just here in my booth, so anybody can just punch in and I'll just start
I have a quick question before you go. This Saturday, I have a panel for my birthday. I'm having Craven Something Scary, who you know in the Night Watch Zone on, and JT's Horror Discussions. Would you like to join?
This Saturday?
Yeah.
I am booked out this weekend. I'm gone. I'm out of here. Can't tell you.
That's okay. I just figured I'd offer.
I am out and about.
Well, I hope you have a good, productive weekend. Good.
I hope so.
Good. You're working. Hey, that's what matters, man.
Give me more notice. And then I can tell you.
I will.
It
was kind of short notice. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We'll figure something out.
I'm booked out. Sometimes my week ahead looks totally clear, and then the day before I'm slammed. Like I get booked up with about 24 hours notice is kind of my thing. But this weekend is already booked out, and I know that for sure.
That's understandable. We'll figure something out. I might do another panel too, because like Killjoy Jake wanted to do one, and a bunch of other people. So maybe like something for October.
Yeah.
Maybe shoot for that, plan it ahead of time. Yeah.
October's my month.
Yeah. I'll message you about it after.
All right.
Well, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Well, thank you again, Mike. And let's end the stream now. Dreaming Insomniacs out.